All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Holoim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Machakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and have taught me this truth. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Mwam back at you with another lesson. Going into the title, NASA to crash space station. All right. And this is a article that came out 14 hours ago by IFL Science. Came up randomly on my feed in my news. So I figured I'd do a quick lesson on it, which I don't have too much battery, so it's going to be a little quick lesson. But basically, it says NASA begins plans to crash the International Space Station into the ocean. And when I first heard that, I thought about why, you know what I'm saying? Now, NASA goes into the Hebrew word nasa, which means to deceive. So we know that NASA always come on with a lot of deceitment, basically. And these devils, the first thing I thought was they probably scared as hell because of what's going on out there in the firmament, with all these chariots that are being seen. Okay, they're picking up a lot of frequency of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. You see, and these people are probably scared, absolutely scared. Okay, but at the same time, this is all prophecy that these space stations will come down eventually, also. Okay, so at the end of the day, them trying to crash it into the ocean probably not going to happen. You see, because the Lord gonna leave them up there so he could destroy them, so he could show his true power. Okay. But it says humans have been living continuously in space for nearly 24 years. Okay. Now they cannot touch the moon. They have not been on planets. That's for us. You see, that's for the elect. All right, for the nation of Israel. That's the rewards that the Lord is gonna give us. As the scriptures say, there are many mansions in my there are many houses in my father's mansion. Okay, which that's talking about all these different planets, and we're gonna be able to, live on these different planets when the time comes, because we're gonna be able to live forever. So we're gonna need room at the end of the day. All right, and this is why you have Esau, that he, comes with his science and tries to explore, because he knows that's all for us. All right, and all Esau could do is dream about it. Okay, his technologies and his satellites was reached, planets, but physical human form has not reached any of these things, man. All right, and you can't believe NASA, because NASA means to deceive. All right, and they have deceived the people thinking that they have landed on the moon, and all this extra that they always speak about. All right, but it says they've been living there for 24 years with astronauts and cosmonauts living abroad. The spacecraft since astronaut Bill Shepard and cosmonauts Yuri Gidzenko and Sergio Kirkolev first boarded the International Space Station on Halloween 2000. All right. And it's funny they did it on Halloween because that's all during the winter solstice. All right. They're always trying to explore. You see, they're trying to always find the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Right? It says all good things must come to an end. And NASA is now planning for the demise of humanity's orbiting laboratory. Right? If you go into Second Ezra, the ninth chapter, it says the same exact thing. All right. This is Second Ezra 9:5. For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. You see, and the end is clear. Okay, that's why they want to dream of crashing it into the ocean, but they're not going to be able to. All right, because Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to crash their system. All right, and show his true power, and that end is made manifest. It's clear. Okay, So everything that has a beginning has to end. All right. And that's exactly what's coming to these space stations. All right. Which in the scriptures, it tells you about how these devils, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee. Let's grab that real quick. This is Obadiah 1 and 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. All right. They are the smallest out of the heathens, and they are greatly despised. And Esau is hated worldwide, man. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. All right. That's where they came from the Caucasus Mountains. All right. Mount Seir, that's their birthplace. Okay. Which, Caucasian goes into cave dweller. It says, whose habitation is high. Everything that they build is buildings and skyscrapers that go high. It says, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And that's the pride that he has. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, all right? And this is how you know it's talking about America, because America, the bald eagle, all right, is basically the mascot for America. Okay. And it says, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, save the Lord Yahweh. You see? And that's talking about the space stations. All right. They're in the firmament, and they're able to see, through the power of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, the glorious works of the Lord that happens out there in the firmament. You see? But pretty soon we're gonna be part of that. Okay. So we know that they definitely dwell amongst the stars. Okay. And the Lord said, I think it's 9 and 3, 9 and 2. I'll take it from the top. 9 and 1 in Amos. It says, I saw the Lord standing upon the altar. He says, smite the lintel on the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them. And I will say, slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Okay, none of these damn devils, all right, are going to be able to survive. The only ones that are going to be able to survive the destruction is going to be the top banking families, only because they're going to be the first fruits of slavery. All right, but we're going to end up having spiritual power to be able to take these devils out of their little rat holes that they're at. Okay. It says, though they dig into hell, and they have bunkers, you know, all over, trying to hide from the indignation of the Lord, but it's not going to happen. Then shall mine hand take them out. Okay. And that's going to be the Lord Yahweh Shai, along with his 144,000. Okay. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. You see, they could go into their space stations all they want, but the Lord's still going to bring them down. Remember, the chariots is out there watching everything you do. As the scriptures say, the eyes of the Lord is upon the sinful kingdom, beholding the good and the evil. All right. And it's time for them to, basically be destroyed, because as the scriptures tell you in Revelations, I believe it's the 18th, all right, the 18th and 5, it says, I'll take it from 4, it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye may be not, so like that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. And that's basically the Lord telling us to come out of the ways of Babylon, all right, that we be not partakers of her sins, because if we follow in the ways of Babylon, all right, you're gonna be destroyed with Babylon, right? For her sins have reached on to heaven, and Yahweh has remembered her iniquities. You see, that could be double fold, because, basically he's talking about how their sins have piled up upon each other. All right. But at the same time, spiritually, their sins have reached on to the heavens, because they're all the way in the firmament, man. They're out there in space. And what do you think they're doing out in their space stations, man? They're worshiping upon their gods, doing spiritual wickedness in high places. You see, so their sins have also reached up all the way into the heavens, man. And that's why the Lord is ready to bring them down. And at the end of the day, their space stations are going to be brought down according to Isaiah, the 34th chapter, okay? Which it tells you right here, Isaiah 34, and the point is at 7, okay? I'll take it up. I'll just take it from the top and go down. All right, it says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people." All right, so the Lord is talking to all these nations. All right, all that is in the world, okay, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. Okay, every single one of these different militaries, all these nations that are standing up, all right, the Lord's fury is upon all of them. All right, you even have armies and militaries in space. Okay, you had President Trump talking about SpaceX and launching it and having people go out there. Why? Because they're going to battle against the angels, man. That's going to be the war in heaven. They want to prepare for that, right? And they think that they're going to be able to destroy the Lord's army, man. But they're not even going to prevail, as the scriptures say. It's not going to work out for them, not one bit. Okay, not one piece of damage is going to be done to the Lord's army. Okay. It says, "For the indignation of the Lord Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He has utterly destroyed them. He has delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood." Okay? Everything's going to be destroyed. All these governments are going to be destroyed. "And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved." See, all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. All right, and we know that this earth is, into what, three heavens. We live in the first heaven, the second heaven is the firmament, and the third heaven being what, the spirit world. Okay, so everything in the first heaven is going to be dissolved. Why? Because it's going to melt away by the nuclear fire. Okay, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, going into that mushroom cloud that's going to go straight into the firmament, man. You see? "And their host shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree." Okay? "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea." All right? Idumea is going into Esau. "And upon the people of my curse to judgment." All right, even the Lord's people, 2/3 of our people, right? "The sword of the Lord Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Lord has a sacrifice." And that's why the Lord mentioned all those animals, because what do you do with those animals? They used to do sacrifices. So America is going to be this great sacrifice. All right, it's going to be a great altar. Okay, and when the Lord destroys it with nuclear fire, okay, that's that fire upon that altar to make a sacrifice. America is that sacrifice because it has to be done. All right, because they have what? They have caused great destruction to this earth. So it says, "Has a sacrifice in Basra and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea." And this is the point I wanted. "And the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness." Okay, all the strong men, all right, they're gonna end up dying. It says the unicorns. The unicorns is known as what? It's known as the satellites. Okay, that's how this truth was able to get out throughout the whole entire earth through the way of the internet, through the satellite. The satellites are located where? In space. Okay, and the reason it looks, they call it a unicorn because the Lord's being metaphoric. Because if you look at a satellite dish, you could picture it as being a head, and then it has that one point that comes out of it like a unicorn. You see, And this is, and how was this truth spread throughout the four corners of the earth? Through the unicorn, you see, through the internet. How are you able to spread the gospel from one end of the earth to the other? Through the internet. I can't talk to you if I'm all the way out here in Jersey and somebody all the way out there in China, okay, face to face. No, it has to be a certain way. Why? How? Through the internet, right? So the internet, the satellite dishes, all those space stations, everything that's connected to that internet is going to come down also. It's going to be destroyed. Remember, the Lord is coming to destroy everything on this side. Nothing from this side is going to be passed over into the kingdom. Okay, because once we hit the kingdom, we're going to be in rulership, and we're going to be able to explore through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, through spiritual power. We're going to be able to, you know, enjoy these beautiful gifts that the Lord has for us, man. You see? So at the end of the day, this devil could talk about he wants to crash his system or not. He's scared. That's what it is. He's scared of what's about to happen. Okay? And he'd rather try to hide in the underground than to hide in space, because that's where they're gonna come from. That's where the Lord gonna crack them clouds from. You see? But the Lord gonna end up destroying everything that comes in his path, man. That's against everything that's anti-Hamashiach is going to be destroyed. All right, and never seen again. All right, and science is never gonna exist again, man. Because science is pseudoscience, man. It's just a bunch of philosophies. Right, and that's why the scriptures tell you not to be. Let me grab that real quick. First Timothy. What is it? 1:20. Where's it? Second Timothy. It might be Second Timothy. Hold on. First Timothy 6. Salakia. O Timothy 6:20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoid profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called. And we know that this devil's all about science. Okay? He believes in his science and not Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But as always, like I say, all right, science does exist because the Lord allowed it. But it's all it's all the intelligence of the Lord. Okay? Science is righteous when it's like, okay, I made a car to be able to get from point A to point B. That's righteous science. But then you have the science that Esau comes to brainwash you with, all right, to mislead you. He shows you signs for you to forget about your power, to draw you away from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and have you open your eyes to some nonsense that doesn't, is not true. Okay? Science can only go so far, and then Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai comes. It's that simple. All right, so these devils, they're not going to be able to, do what they please, okay, unless the Lord allows it. All right, but yeah, that's pretty much the point. Let me see what else is in this. I'll read a little bit more of the article. I didn't even really get into it too much because I didn't really care for their science. But it says NASA is now planning for the demise of humanity's orbiting laboratory. The American Space Agency announced on Wednesday that it has selected SpaceX to develop and build the deorbit vehicle that will be used to deorbit the space station at the end of its operational life, bringing it safely down to Earth. Here it is. They say they want to put it in the ocean, right? But they're going to bring it safely down to Earth. Anything that comes from the skies and it comes down, it comes a certain way, like comets. Not comets, when you have boulders and meteors that come from the sky, they're floating out in the firmament. But when they come into Earth, what do? They come quickly into the Earth, and disintegrate. Okay. So it says, selecting a U.S. deorbit vehicle for the International Space Station will help NASA and its international partners ensure a safe and responsible transition in low Earth orbit at the end of station operations. This decision also supports NASA's plans for future commercial destinations. This damn devil. And allows for the continued use of space near Earth. Ken Bowersox, Associate Administrator for Space Operations Mission Director at NASA headquarters in Washington, said in a statement, the orbital laboratory remains a blueprint for science. Okay, and that's all it's going to be, is a blueprint, because we at the end of this thing. All right, it says exploration and partnerships in space for the benefit of all. The initial pieces of the ISS were launched in 1998, and by the time operations are over in 2030, they will have been in space for 2 years longer than their planned lifespan. It is these pieces, these parts forming the structure of the space station that mean the ISS cannot continue beyond 2030. Yeah, because the scriptures say, whoo, that's fire. Scriptures say he has his limits that he cannot pass in Job. This is Job 14:5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. See, he has a time limit. Okay, and he only has months left. That's why he's coming down on us with great wrath, because he has but a little time. You can't look at it as we have years, man. The Lord said months. It could be 1 month from now, 2 months from now, 12 months from now. Can't look at it in the way of years. We're in the time of months. Okay, we're in a time of where months turn into weeks, and weeks turn into days, days turning into hours, hours turning into minutes, minutes into seconds. You see, so everything's speeding up for the elect's sake. So it says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. You see, he can't pass to 2030. Now they have to come up with a new game plan. Why? Because you're going to always have to come up with a new game plan, because the Lord only lets you do as much as he allows. Okay. And the Lord is not allowing anymore. This is why the prophets are now standing up to speak this place into destruction, man. Because it's done. This place is done for. It's over. Okay. It says, turn from him that he may rest till he shall accomplish as a hireling his day. Okay. But that's the point. His days are determined. All right. So, hey, he could try to bring it down as much as he wants. All right, I'm sure the Lord is not going to allow you. All right, because you're going to have to fulfill prophecy. It says much of the space station can be repaired or replaced in orbit, while other parts can be returned to ground for repair and relaunched. These parts include solar arrays, communications equipment, life support equipment, and science hardware. NASA explains, however, the primary structure of the station, such as the crude modules and the truss structures, cannot be repaired or replaced practically. As spacecraft dock and undock to the ISS, and the space station moves in and out of sunlight, this places stresses on those structures. Let me see what else is there. Oh, I'll read these last two. It says these forces were accounted for the original 30-year structural life estimate, and while NASA's flown experience indicates that the actual forces imparted to the station have been less than originally forecast, there's still a finite lifetime available in the primary structure. Though the space station has functioned incredibly well over its lifespan, because the Lord allowed it, as it has aged, leaks have begun to spring up. NASA is now planning for the end of an incredible project. All right, and it really ain't NASA. All right, it's Yahweh. They're already deceiving you with that statement. See, NASA means to deceive. They're deceiving you with that statement. All right, the Lord is planning to put an end to this incredible project. Okay, which saw 5 space agencies collaborate to operate a laboratory soaring above our heads at around 28,000 kilometers per hour, 17,500 miles per hour. Basically, that's what's in parentheses. Though SpaceX will operate the project with a potential value of 843 million. Look where all this money goes to, man. NASA will run and take ownership of the deorbit vehicle and mission to deorbit the aging space station. And that's the rest of it. So yeah, it was just a quick little update, with these devils and their stupidity and folly. But hey, Lord willing that the lesson, hey, Shalom sisters, Yahweh Bashim Shah Barakatah. So hey, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachakatash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, the scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah. Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith. Enduring as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai, you sisters continue to learn in silence and watching the true men of the Lord, true doctrine. All right. And Lord willing, we those men. Shalom. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah.